Hi all, I am Rakesh. Today we are going to see what is replication controller in Kubernetes. So what is the need of replication controller? Replication controller is one of the key features of Kubernetes which is responsible for managing the pod lifecycle. It is responsible for making sure that the specified number of pod replicas are running at any point of time. You know, suppose you have created a pod manually and you don't know when the pod is going to down. Again, you will have to create a pod manually. Suppose you want to make sure that there should be like 4 pods should be running for this, but how you will manage that? In that case, replication controller will be helpful. It is used in time when one wants to make sure that the specified number of pod or at least one pod is running. This is the key feature actually. It has the capability to bring up or down the specified number of pods. So here we can scale up, scale down, you can do. So it is the best practice to use the replication control to manage the pod life cycle rather than creating a pod again and again. Okay. So we'll have to create a simple YML file for this replication controller. So here this is a YML file. First you have to write FAI version as v1, then kind as replication control. In the above code we have defined the kind as replication controller, which tells the kubectl that the YML file is going to be used for creating the replication controller. Okay. Suppose you have to create deployment, here you will have to mention deployment. Suppose you want to create simple pod, then you will have to mention kind as pod. Okay. Suppose you want to create a service, so in place of replication controller you will have to put service, and then metadata. In metadata you will have to write the name. So here I have written RKJ wave of RC, like that. So this helps in identifying the name with which the replication controller will be created. If we run the kubectl get RC, then RKZ wave of RC, it will show the replication controller details. Okay. Then in specification you can see, then we in labels we have mentioned app name equal to Krishna, and in specification spec we have mentioned replicas equal to 3. So this helps the replication controller to understand that it need to maintain 3 replicas of a pod at any point of time in the pod life cycle. Spec section we have defined the name which will tell the replication controller that the container present inside the pod so name in the specification inside containers is there, and name is mentioned and RKJ wave of container. So here the container will be named as RKJ wave of container. After that we have mentioned the port 8080. So it helps in making sure that all the nodes in the cluster where the pod is running, the container inside the pod will be exposed on the same port 8080. Okay. And in the image you can see, I have to put the image name along the version. Okay. So here you can see under spec type was written as up. So let's write replication controller YML file as we already discussed everything. Okay, so this will be the container. Let's copy it. Next we will have to create a service for that also. Service type will be node port. Okay, and you can see the service name is my service 2, and if you see type node port, then port we have taken 9000, target port will be 80, and selector guys, selector here, this is the important part. Selector type is up. You can see in the file, in the controller YML file, you can see we have a label called up. Okay, so in how this replication controller will be identified by the server is this is due to this only. Here type is equal to up, here also type equal to up, we have mentioned in the service. Okay, so let's see, let me create the replication controller first. kubectl get pods. Let me show you first before creating the pod. There is no pod. kubectl get svc. You can see there is no node port service. Okay, so let's create a replication controller. kubectl create -f, then your YML file name, then next you will have to create the service. kubectl create -f, then your service YML file. Yes, it's created. So let's see, kubectl get svc service. So you can see new service has been created, and as we put the service name as my service 2, we can see one service has also been created here. Next point is let's see pods. kubectl get pods. You can see 3 pods. As we created the replication the replicas as 3, so we are getting 3 pod. Okay, kubectl get rc, you can see it is showing as 3. Okay, so let's see the label ones, because here the label is having vital role. kubectl get pods, then hyphen show hyphen labels. Okay, so you can see label type is here, the label type is up. So now let's try to access this. we are going to use this port, okay, while hitting the URL. Let me copy the public IP from here, then three 1185. Yeah, you can see now the wave is getting up. So guys, if you want to, if you change the tag, let me open the file once. Here we have mentioned the label type as app. If we change the label from app to something else, then we will not able to access from outside the cluster. Let's see. Let me put something like XYZ. I added here. Okay. So kubectl get replication controller. First delete the replication controller. kubectl delete rc name deleted. So now create it again. We have deleted the pod. So if you reload this page, the web page will be done because we don't have any pod. Okay, so kubectl get pods, you can see there is no pod. So let's create the pod again with the new level. kubectl apply -f. You can use create -f or apply -f. You can see it's created. Create sbc kubectl get rc kubectl get pods. So pods are running, right? And then we'll see the label. kubectl get pods -, so -levels. You can see we have add XYZ along with app. So in service we have the selector type app, but here we have mentioned as app XYZ. So if you load the page, so here we'll have to choose the port as 31040. 31040, yes, it is there. So see, the wave is down because this is only can be identified by this label only. Okay, so let me delete it first. kubectl delete rc, then your rc name I have deleted. Let's recreate this with app. Okay. I have changed it to app again. So now again we have created, you can see the label. Now this is up. If you try to reload the page, you can see now we are able to access the pods from outside, okay, from outside the cluster. So this is one thing. This is the main work of label. Then second point, what I want to tell you guys, as replication controller ensure us that the number of pods should be same at any time. Okay, so let's delete one pod, or maybe kubectl delete pod name. I am deleting this pod. You will see one more pod will be getting created just after that, because we are deleting one pod. Okay, deleted, and let's run the command. You can see one more pod got created. Even you can see in this way. So you can see in this way we can do, let me delete one more times, kubectl delete pods two pods I have deleted, right? You can see the age, you can see it's showing 3 seconds. Just now 2 pod got created. Okay, so this is the beauty of replication controller, but see, but still there is a demerit of this, which can be fixed by replica set. So replica, what is replica set? Replica set ensures how many replica of pods should be running. It can be considered as a replacement of replication controller. The key difference between the replica set and the replication controller is the replication controller only supports equality based selector, okay, whereas the replication set supports set based selector. Okay, in replication in replica set we are going to discuss it in briefly. So this is what the whole concept is, and even though we are deleting the pod, still we can see the web will be always off because we have some other pods. So this is what replication controller. I think you guys get the concept of replication controller properly. If you have any doubt, please put comment so that I will try to give you the answer. Thank you guys. Bye bye.